How far?
I'm in the Trading Hub live session.
That doesn't. So like I said, this breakfast will basically cover day trades and possibly scalp. Do you get? So what do? You go to your higher time frame first. You mark out the structure on the 1 hour. So that will tell you, okay, this is what I should be looking for. The only thing you have business with is the overall trend on the 1 hour. So now that that is verified, you can clearly see that this was the last break of structure. Did this close with the full body? No. This did not close with the full body. So this is the last break of structure, and this is a shift on the 1 hour. Do you get? So you now go to your, now that you know what you are looking for, you know that that shifted is still on an uptrend though. So you now go to your 15 minutes. And if you look at this, this is what happened here. This played out nicely. You can clearly see that it has picked a buy here, and normally it's supposed to get to this place. And that's a 7.5 hour. Very easy, simple trade normally. So this should have given you a very simple trade normally. So on the 1 hour, I can clearly see that you're in a buy. It's in line with the trend. So you have absolutely no business looking for sell on the lower time frame. So if you now go to the 15 minutes, now let me delete this so it won't confuse you. So I'm just trying to show you. So on the 15 minutes now, you can also see that it's on an uptrend. You can clearly see there's reconstruction and there's also an eye around here. So looking at this now, if I were to be looking for possible buy entries on this lower time frame, this is where I'll be looking at because there's an inducement for it. So you might be having something like this. This is a possible buy on the lower time frame, which is still in line with the higher time frame. And if this is your target, you still have a 5-hour setup. And if that breaks, this is also the annoying part about lower time frame is that it always have multiple points of interest. Do you get? Always have multiple points of interest. But if you look at this now, this is a very valid one. This was the origin of this break of structure. There's no break after that yet. So it is still a valid area to pick your buy from. So I'll be looking closely at this area. And if peradventure it breaks that, you can see that there's multiple points of interest to join a buy. You can possibly ignore this and use this as the inducement for this entry. Because this is the origin of the whole movement. So it's as simple as that. So normally you are following the trend and you are risking less also because your trade will most likely hit TP or SL faster. That's the only advantage of lower time frame trade. So looking at this now, why do people entry? So looking at this now, this is what should be happening. Please mute your mic. So looking at this now, this is what you should be having on this screen. It's very, very, very straightforward, except the market decides to do its thing. If this does not hold, this should most likely, but this might not hold because it's in between an unmitigated other block. So avoid having 3 or 4 entries. So this was the one that created this shift. This created a shift. So this is valid. Then this created the break of structure. This also created the break of structure. So you can still use it. But then if this fails, I'll be banking on the other block that created the shift. Do you get? But then this is also still valid. This is also still valid. So you can have these 3 as your possible entries. But overall, you should be looking for buys and not sells. As you can see, you should be looking for buys and not sells. So that's that for Euro, sorry, AUD card. So I'll try not to waste our time too much. Then let's go to AUD USD. So this one, I was going through this already yesterday. So this has already done the sell for me. This is a 1 hour. This is a 1 hour, what do you call it now? This is a 1 hour order block. So like I said, go with the trend also. On the higher time frame, it still looks bullish. It doesn't look entirely bearish because there are protected levels that have not been broken. One. Please mute your mic. Let me check. Okay. So as I was saying, overall, this looks bullish because this protected level is unmitigated yet. It has not been broken. You can see it's a clear protected level. There's been multiple rejections here, multiple. So you can see. So this is a protected level. And what that means is that it might still hold. If price eventually comes back there, it might still hold. But this is a bearish order block and it has already done its thing. So coming back, it might hold and it might not hold. This is a 1 hour order block, but what we have business with is the 15 minutes because we are looking for day trades that we can pick. So now, You can see that it shifted here too. It shifted bullish here. Shifted bullish here. This is a valid 15 minutes order block here. This is a valid 15 minutes order block. So if at all I'm trying to look for a buy continuation, I'll be looking for a buy here because this is what created this break of structure. And this area too is also unmitigated. So for 15 minutes, you would always have more. I think it has been mitigated, sorry. For 15 minutes, you would always have multiple points of interest. So this has been mitigated. This order block, there's nothing there again. It has been mitigated by this. So this is the unmitigated order block. So if peradventure price is coming down, it might not get to this place at all. So it might be having something like this. So this GAN box shows you 50% of the order block and 100%. So on 15 minutes, I usually prefer to use 100%. If I'm using 4 hours or 2 hours, then I can use 50% of the GAN box. So this is where I'll be targeting, and that's a 4-hour trade. Then I'll be expecting the market to give me an inducement, which looks like it has done that. If you look at this, it looks most likely to come back for this on the 15 minutes because there's also another break of structure here. And the level is still protected also. And there was another here. Let me delete all this one so it will not confuse you. So what we have business with is the current market movement. That's the key when trading on the lower time frame. So if you look at this now, let me delete everything so you see clearly. So you can clearly see a shift, a break, and another break here. Okay, a liquidity sweep kind of. So if you're trying to trade this, this is where I'll be looking to buy from. It looks very, very good for a day trade. This is where I'll be looking to buy from on this pair. This has been mitigated. This has been mitigated. So this is the unmitigated one. This has been mitigated by this. And this has already been mitigated by this week here. So they will most likely not hold in the nearest future. So this is the area where if price comes there, there will most likely be a sharp rejection. That's what I mean by unmitigated. So it doesn't mean that the mitigated one might not hold. It might hold, but it won't be strong. Do you get it? It won't be strong like that. So if at all I'm trying to enter a market on AUD today, this is the only setup I'll be having on the 15 minutes because it's still in line with the trend and it's still in line with the protected level that is here. Remember, I showed you on the 1 hour, it is still protected and should most likely continue the buy movement. Well, let's see what the market decides. So, like I said, it is not my daddy's market. The reason why I'm still skeptical about this is probably because it only swept liquidity. It didn't close with a full body. They didn't close with a full body because this would also have been a good place to buy from. And that was what the market is using here. So this is also valid. And that was what the market peaked. I'm just saying it now. So this was what the market peaked. It peaked this other block. Let me use the rectangle so you see it. This is the other block, this one precisely. And that was exactly what the market picked, this precisely. So you'd have had something like this. And so this is a 5-hour trade. And it's currently running how many hours? Currently running almost 3 hours. So picking a good trade is not hard. You just need to know what you're looking for. So this was also unmitigated. So apart from this area now, if any of this area breaks, this is where it's coming from. There's no story around that one. This is where it's coming from. This is where it's coming from. It's coming from this other block. All these ones now have been mitigated. So there won't be a lot of orders there to give a strong momentum again. So there won't be a strong momentum again to give a bullish moment. So this is what we have on AUD USD. So let's go to card chef. So like I said, always mark out your structure on the 1 hour so you know what you are looking for. So you know what you are looking for. You have this bullish reconstruction. You have another break of structure. Then we have our shifts. So this only sweats liquidity. It did not shift. It did not break structure. So this only sweats liquidity. It did not break structure. But let's see what I was talking about. So where are the unmitigated levels? This is unmitigated on the 1 hour. So that's like a possible area where price will reject from. Then I think you already made use of this one above it. Let me use my candles so it can be transparent. So this is what the market is currently using. This is what the market is currently using. So the market is currently running. So you should be looking more towards buy. This is a 6 hour trade. So first of all, we've understood that, okay, we are looking for buy. So you now go to your 15 minutes. So you can delete this now, then go to your 15 minutes and look for possible entries. Look for changes in the trend. So looking at it, this was overnight spread. You see the reason why I said avoid exotic pairs when the market is opening. This is the exact reason. You can see this whole area here is the opening market gap. Do you get? So looking at this now, if I see a break, I've already seen a break of this area now. So it's coming down. Where are the possible areas I'll be looking to buy? This is one to continue. This is the only area I'll be looking at because this has mitigated this. So pending the time that it gives me something, and you can also use this as your inducement. This is not an A+ setup. Do you get? But then if you are going with the trend, let me zoom out so you see where you'll be targeting. So this, always target the nearest area. As long as you have 3 RR to 5, you are good. So looking at this now, this is what I'll be having on display. That is the only unmitigated area where I expect a very good momentum. This is where I expect a very good buy momentum. This area here. Because if it breaks this, then this might not hold. So just use this as a draw on liquidity and come for this one. Remember, there's this 1 hour demand here sitting pretty. So you need to be careful and know what you are doing. But if this breaks, then don't stress yourself looking for position. Just wait for price to enter into this area. Then you find your entry. So that's the importance of marking out higher time frame structure when trading on the lower time frame. But this is a valid area to buy from. So let's see what the market does. And with this full body close, it validates this area very well. This one are just overnight spread. All these ones have been mitigated, clearly mitigated. Do you get? So that's that one. Card chef. Then the next one is card JPY. Let's see. So remember, start from the 1 hour. If you are day trading, then you can still go to 5 minutes. I'm just using 15 minutes because today is a Monday. So you shouldn't be looking for 5 minutes trade on a Monday morning. Let the market settle and create something first. Let me zoom out and see. Let's see. This was a break of structure. Then it shifted here. See that trading is not really complicated. Just know what you're looking for. If it fails, onto the next. You just have to win 3 out of 10 and you are good. That's my philosophy. So I don't stress if I lose a trade. As long as I'm winning 3 or more out of 10 trades, I am very, very good. Because I'll still be in profit regardless. It's when you are losing 8 out of 10 that there's a problem. But if you are getting 6, 3, 4, 5, you are still very good. So this is the last eye. Why am I seeing only bullish trade or something? Oh, okay. Bullish. So this was the shift here. So it shifted here. It broke structure here. It broke structure here. So this is the low. Okay, I should be looking for sell on this. So where are the 1 hour point of interest? This is one. You can see, let me show you something. You can see that this has been mitigated. This has been mitigated. This is unmitigated. If you don't understand all these things, you have to like go for extra classes or pay for mentorship. I'll be explaining mitigated if you don't understand. So that one is for later. So all this area now, there's nothing there. Anything that makes it comes back to all this area, it's just going to break it. This is the only unmitigated one because this has mitigated this one. You can see that's clearly mitigated it. So there's no need stressing yourself looking for sell here. This is the only valid one. So let me delete that. So this is the only valid unmitigated order block. And it also has an inducement with it. So we are trading on the 1 hour. You want to have trades that can go for like 2-3 days. Then this is where you'll be looking for sales. This is an inducement. So if price does not get there, no entry. It's as simple as that. So that is one. Then another possible area. I don't know why it's coming back, but this is another unmitigated order block here. And there's low key and inducements for it. So if at all I'm planning to enter a sell on the 1 hour, these are my 2 major areas now. I only have this, and they both have inducements before it. So that makes them quite valid. Do you get? So if you now go to, now that you've understood the trend, you know that you're looking for sales, you can now go to your 15 minutes and see what the market is doing. So now, this is the low. Everything here is noise. This is the major point of interest. So I still feel like price will still come back here because there's also a 15 minutes order block here. So going inside now, this is a 15 minutes order block. That's a 15 minutes order block. And can use this as your inducement for the 15 minutes. I'm trying not to confuse anybody. And like I said, I normally use 100% of the order block for my 15 minutes trade. So if at all I'm planning to day trade this, I'll be having this. And the beautiful part is that it aligns with the lower time frame. So until price breaks here, all these point of interest are very much valid. This is a 10-hour trade. Very possible. Very, very possible. Because it aligns to the trend. So it can still come for that. It can still come for it. It can still come for it. So let's see what the market decides to do later on. That is what I'll be looking for now. I won't be looking for buys. I'll only be looking for sales. So that's a valid order block inducement. This is also an inducement for that area. So you wait. So you are trading 1 hour, you go to your 1 hour, mark out your order block. You are trading 15 minutes. This is where my entry is going to be. And I'll just chill and let the market do its thing. Please mute your mic. Who is that person again? All right. So the next one is to still come back. This one is just play that is playing. So normally beginners might start panicking here. This is liquidity. Everything here is liquidity. There's plenty liquidity for the market to come back and grab. So it should most likely still come back into this area. Remember, this is the 1 hour demand area. So it can sell from anywhere here. This is an aggressive entry on the 15 minutes. This is the conservative entry here. This is a conservative entry, 5 hour. This is an aggressive entry. So it all depends on what type of trader that you are. But if I was taking this on the 15 minutes, this is what I would most definitely have. Price will still come back for it. There's liquidity above. So there's no need panicking to enter this market. So that's that for me. That's a clean 10-hour setup. But then if I was targeting, I won't be targeting here overall. I'll be looking for this nearest one. So I'll be out. These are the nearest area. This is 4.7. If you get here easily, then probably this or this. Do you get? So you won't spend time in the markets. So the next one is Euro AUD. Remember, start from the 1 hour. So start from the 1 hour, see what the market is doing. This market's price action is somehow sharp. Okay, there's an eye, there's a shift. You just need to train your eyes. There's a shift, there's a break of structure, there's another break of structure, and there's a low. So this is the range that I'll be looking at for any setup. Anything outside this range does not concern me. Do you get? So that's how you map out where you are going to be trading from and what you have to do. But you need to mark out your range first. The highs and the low, the nearest one that aligns to the current market structure. So now we broke structure here, then it shifted from here actually. It shifted here. Shifted here, then it broke structure here. Then I think that's broken another structure. So if you're not checking properly, you don't know that it is bullish. And it also broke structure again. Okay. So now we know that this is the recent high that you'll be targeting for a close entry. So where are the other blocks or point of interest? This is one. Is it unmitigated? Yes, it is. So you zoom in to see it is unmitigated. So this is an inducement for it. So you first of all mark it out on your 1 hour. So this is where the market will be attracted to. So on the 1 hour now, you know, you are waiting for a buy around here. And this eye is still sitting pretty there. So what do? You wait for the market to do its thing. You now go to your 15 minutes and see the 15-minute structure. What is it telling you? So on the 15 minutes now, you can clearly see that it shifted here. Shifted here on the 15 minutes. You can see that there's nothing. All these things now is liquidity. There's nothing to attract price. So you understand now, there's no major area that looks very, very valid, except you just want to lie to yourself and find entry where there's no entry. So normally, because there's a shift and there's a break of structure, I'll be looking for a sell to my demand area. You can see that it's been breaking structure. So I'll be looking only for sells to my demand area. And where is the nearest area to look for a sell? This place. So I'll be expecting price to come back here, then probably sell down to my demand area. So which is still in line with what I am looking for. So it's either you wait for price to keep coming down, but if you are impatient, you look out for your sell to that area, but it's still in line with your 15-minute structure. So I'll have my sell around here. And I'll be targeting that demand area. So this is where my target will be. That's a 7-hour setup. We're already going out of time for this first session. So I'll be having something like this. So I expect market to come back here and give me a sell to buy. This is the only valuable setup one should be having on this. So you can clearly see a sell to buy. Then the next one is look at, let me see if I can finish this before my time gets exhausted. Clearly uptrend. Just train your eyes. Clearly on an uptrend. Then this is the eye. This is a demand area. Clearly unmitigated. Clearly unmitigated. So this is where the breakout structure started from. So you have no business with anything there, actually. Then there's inducement. I always look out for this. So you should most likely keep attracting price there. Remember, this is 1 hour. So I have my point of interest. So I have no business with this area yet. It is only if that area is broken that I'll start looking at this. This is another point of interest that's mitigated this one. So there's nothing here. There's nothing here. And there's nothing here too. This has been mitigated, but not completely. So this can still be valid, but has not mitigated 50% of it. But this has been mitigated 50%. So there's nothing in this area. So it's most likely not, this downside will most likely not hold. Do you get? So this is the unmitigated one, and this, and there's inducement for this too. So if I was trading the 1 hour, these are where I'll be looking out for trades that can last for like a day, 2 or 3. If you're trying to buy, for example, now you're buying from here using this, you'll have something like this. You have something like this. And this is how many are 6 are. And if you are waiting for this, you also have something like this. And you have something like this. So this is 6, and this is also 6. So either ways, if they hold, they will most likely be targeting the next area. But if you now go to your 15 minutes, you now start seeing some noise. But the thing is, when you are trading lower time frame, you need to be very, very careful. This is a very good 15 minutes demand area. I think it has swept the liquidity. It has swept it, then it's 50-50. So it has swept the liquidity. So normally, if you're trading 15 minutes, if it had not swept the liquidity, I would have had something like this here now on the 15 minutes. Then I'll be targeting the 8 hour, but I swept liquidity, so it's 50-50 now. But anything that makes it breaks here, there's really, all this area are not really valid like that. This is the nearest valid one again. Do you get mitigated, mitigated, unmitigated? So you can see this is unmitigated. So if I was taking a 15 minutes entry, I would have it around here. I'll have this, and the SL will be on this line. Then I'll be targeting this area also. So this is what I'll be having. Basically, those are my point of interest in alignment with the trend. Always remember, you can see that the trend is bullish, so you have no business looking for sell yet. So these are inducements, but then that's just liquidity. So it becomes 50-50 here, but this is valid, and it also aligns on the 1 hour. So that is that. So let's see your card. Only have 4 minutes left. Remember, follow the trend. Follow the trend. So I don't need to be shouting break of structure, you already know. So looking at this now, this is unmitigated. This is completely unmitigated. So if price comes here, it should hold, and there's inducement. But all the other ones has been mitigated. You can clearly see this was mitigated. This one has been mitigated. Has been mitigated like this. This has also been mitigated. This is the other one. Has been mitigated. So this was what the market came for actually. This was what the market came for. This is a running trade, the running setup on this. This is a running setup on this, and this is the target. This is a 7-hour trade. Currently running. So this is.
Hey, Alpha, what's going on? Don't speak.
Mute your mic, you not.
Who
Who is this person? So this one is very straightforward. It's currently a running trade, so there's nothing to analyze here yet. But he decides to do what he wants to do. And there was inducement for that other block. You can clearly see the inducement here. Here you can see. So there was inducement for that sell. So this is a valid, very valid setup as well. I would normally take this anytime I see it. See, it has already done 3 RR, so I'll have been out of this market set. Once I see 3 RR, I'm okay. So very clean setup, other block unmitigated, inducement directly before it, entry, sell. So you can see. So like I said, like I was saying, that is why I don't used to use 50%. I normally use 100% of the order block because of situations like this. Now, if you're using 50%, you have missed this trade already. That has already done almost 4 hours, even though this is the target. This is the nearest target. But then always have this at the back of your mind. Once you see 3 to 5 hours, you should not close that trade in break even or loss. It does not make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. So the next session will continue with Euro, enter into GU and the like. So let me close this now and create another link. Continue up with Euro USD. So for this now, always remember, follow the trend first of all. So what did the market do here? Shifted, obviously. Shifted in, because this was the last reconstruction. Shifted in, and broke structure should be broke structure. And created this recent high. Which area created that high? It was this one. So if at all there's going to be any shifts, the shifts will only happen here. So this is the low. Remember what I said about trading range. This and this, these are the areas that you have business with. So what do you do in this instance? You can now go to your lower time frame. Considering the fact that this is still on a bullish trend, this is the unmitigated order block sitting very pretty with an inducement before it. This is the most valid order block. This has not led to a break of structure. So you cannot use this as an order block. It has not created a break of structure, so it is not valid. This is the only valid order block here, bullish order block on the 1 hour time frame. This is the only valid bullish order block on the 1 hour time frame. So if at all I'm trying to trade this pair, I'll be having my buy around here. Normally, I'll be having my buy around here. And my target will be that high, that last high. That will be my target. But it usually makes sense when there's like a week. Do you get? But normally, for Euro, this is the last. So as I was saying, this is the area that created the last break of structure and the last high. This has not broken structure, so this is not a valid order block. Do you understand? Then on the 15 minutes now, this is the trading range. So I already know that this is where you will be looking for positions on the 15 minutes. So you can now go to the 15 minutes and see, okay, what am I looking for? And you can now look for your structure on the 15 minutes also. And looking at this now, this was the 15 minutes area that broke this structure. There was nothing clear after that. So you mark out this as your shift. Then this is a break of structure. Then this is another break of structure. Then this is the last low on the 15 minutes. So what that means is that if at all you are trying to sell, that should be your target. But let's continue. So there was a bullish shift here. Nothing clear. You can see this arguably a break of structure, but I won't really be too confident about that. Then you now have this as your most recent high on the 15 minutes. And which area created that high? It is this one. And that was literally what it came to do. It came to sweep that liquidity. It came to sweep that liquidity. So what this means is that it can either decide to buy or sell. Nothing is very, very clear yet. Do you get it? Can decide to sell or buy. Remember, we are still within a trading range. If it breaks here, then it shifts and goes for the, if it breaks here, it goes for the 1 hour demand area. So if it breaks here now and it doesn't get to the 1 hour demand area, you look for sell because that's a break of structure on the lower time frame. This is how you prepare for whatever you want to like do. Do you get? For all this area now, I'm not really seeing anything that actually makes sense. Who's that person again now? So I'm not seeing anything that actually makes sense for me to pick an order. But if I was to look for sales based on the fact that it was giving bearish vibes, I'll be looking to sell around here. This looks like it has been mitigated. You can clearly see it has been mitigated. Has this one been mitigated also? Let's see. Yes, it has been mitigated. So, but this was the sell that I caught, that I posted earlier. I used this order block. After I saw this, momentum, I came for this and I picked my order in, and my target was here. So this was what I had. Let me quickly show you that. So this was my target. It was very simple. It was a very simple trade. So I waited because the reason why I entered was because it broke this. Do you get? Broke this. And I was targeting this area here, 6808. Do you get? So it's a very, very clean, very, very clean sell. So on the 15 minutes, if you had saw this earlier, you'd have continued the sell. So you are trading inside the range. So anytime it gets outside the range, you know that if it breaks here, you are looking for buy. If it breaks here, you are looking for sell. So you have your trading range on both the 1 hour and the 15 minutes. Do you understand now? So as it stands now, it has already done what you wanted to do. Now you now have to wait for the market to give you a structure to follow. But if I'm using the 1 hour, I'll just be waiting for this demand because this is the most recent one. But this, let me now say this becomes valid. This other block only becomes valid. It only becomes valid after this break of structure, after there's a break of structure. Remember, this is still the most recent break of structure. Let me zoom out. I'm trying to spend more time on euro because a lot of people trade it. So this created this break of structure and this high. This has not created a break of structure or another high yet. Do you understand? It has not created another one yet. It has not created another one yet. So it is not valid yet. So if it just comes down like this, it's not hold. The probability of it holding is very, very low because it has not created a break of structure enough for people to place orders there. Do you get? So if it comes down like this, it's coming for this one. This is the most valid order block at the moment. If at all I'm planning to place a long-term buy or sell, this is where I'll be placing it. I won't be placing it here because it has not created. But if this now creates a break of structure, this becomes more valid than this because it is the nearest point of interest that the market will most likely use. So that is that for Euro USD. I've tried. So the next one is GBP, JPY. Same thing, 1 hour. It obviously shifted here after this last break of structure. It shifted here. Then it broke structure. Then it broke structure again. Then it broke structure again. Then it broke structure again. Then it created that last high. So it was bullish. But has it shifted? Yes, it shifted here. It shifted here. But there was an unmitigated order block here, which the market used for a buy. It's used this for a buy. And it did get to the target, obviously it did. It gave almost 4 hours. So it has done this movement here. So it has cleared buy orders that were here. Do you understand? It has cleared buy orders that were here. And now, but this movement did not break structure. So I'll be waiting for a break of structure before I pick my nearest order block. So let me delete this now. So you can clearly see that now order block has been used. Then this has also been used now. It has already come back for this. So sometimes it might work, it might not work. Regardless, even if it did not break structure, this only sweats liquidity. It did not break structure. It only sweats. It only sweats liquidity. It did not break structure at all. But then it's still holding regardless because this area has already been mitigated. And there was an inducement before that entry, so this is the inducement. So if I was targeting, I'll still be targeting here for my overall trade, but as a 3-hour trader, I will have been out around here. I will have closed actually. But then what this means is that this area is a protected level now because it is holding. So I need to see a break. So if there's a break now, if there's a break to the upside, I need a break of structure first. Then I'll now look for possible areas where price should come back from. And this looks like it has been mitigated too, but not up to 50%. So if there's a break of structure, I'll most likely be picking my entry like this because of that inducement. So heading into the next few hours or few days, I need a break of structure. So if there's a break of structure, this is an inducement for a possible entry on the 1 hour. So you have something like this, which is still in line with the trend. Remember, I always follow the trend. So if I'm trying to place any order here, this is what I'll have. But only after there's a break of structure. So that's why it's important to have some rules and regulations to follow. So you won't just trade blindly. I won't be placing this order yet until I see a break of structure. But this is my point of interest for a buy. But it requires a break of structure for it to be valid. If there's no break of structure, it is not valid yet. Hope that is clear. So that is that for GBP, JPY. There's really nothing. I don't think there's anything much on the 15 minutes. So we shifted on 15 minutes, we shifted there. We broke structure here. Why is it not clicking? We broke structure here. And it created this high. So on the 15 minutes, now it came back for this. So I just saw something on the 15 minutes, came back for this level. It came back for that level. Let me delete this first, so I'll not confuse you. So if you're trading 15 minutes, came back for this, because this was the break of structure, and this created another break of structure here. So this was the inducement for that level, and it picked properly. Pick it properly. So if you're targeting here, you'd have been out since it's your 2 point something hour. You'd have been out since. So if you decide to use 15%, it would have been even massive. That's a 5-hour trade. If I was using 50% of the other, you'd have had 5 hours just for getting to this target. And then it came back for that level again. Came back for that level again. But overall, like I said, for this place to be valid, you can see that the other block is very valid on the 15 minutes too. You see that it's clearly unmitigated. Clearly unmitigated, and there's inducement are directly above it. You can see this 15 minutes inducement. So it is a very valid one if price comes back there. So if price comes back there, I'll be having my order like this. So I'll have this as my inducement. Then I'll reduce it to like this. And let's see how many RR it is. It should be very massive. Very, very massive. 7 RR, not bad. So you can clearly see. So if at all I'm trying to take a 15-minute entry, so this is valid on the 15 minutes, but it's not entirely valid on the 1 hour because there's no break of structure yet. You get, but you can argue that you can use this if you are trading on the 15 minutes because there's inducement for it. So you can come back here and come. Then this is where your target will now be. This last high here. And this is still a 4 point something hour trade. So if peradventure I'm trying to place this, I can have this. I can also have this. But this has been mitigated. So I don't think there'll be any other here anymore. So that is that. Therefore, GU, same thing. GU has a very complicated price action. Therefore, we have this break. And this. So for this, I don't think I should be looking for a sell yet. I don't think you should be looking for a sell yet because there's no shifts. Sorry, there's no break of structure to the downside yet until this area is broken. And it looks most likely that it's holding to. This is what it tapped into. Although not 100% though, but this looks like what it has tapped into. And if you're targeting me, this literally looks like what it tapped into for this other block. This is the nearest one. You can have something like this because this has already mitigated this one. So that's why I just tapped that other block and bounce. So my first target will be this. And this is still 5 RR, which is still very good. So it does not pass like this. There's nothing else to be looking for here for now. There's nothing else to be looking for here. Except you just want to look for how it will join. And it aligns very well on the 15 minutes. So there's nothing to be checking here. There's nothing else to check here from now until the market. So if it breaks here, you look for sell. If it breaks here, you keep looking for more buys. It's as simple as that. And for NU, this one, I have 0 watts. So there's a field swing here that has mitigated that. So if at all you're trying to sell, you should be looking for a sell around here. And this has even mitigated that. And this is not mitigated. So if we go to close. Okay. So left to me, I'll be trying to sell from here. I think it has swept that liquidity too. So if at all one is trying to sell, but I don't like this movement. I don't like it at all. So I won't normally be taking this kind of trade because it's too wicky. There's too many weeks. So it can just ignore it and just go for this one. But then this has also been mitigated. It has been slightly mitigated by this one. So you just need to decide. Then this is unmitigated. That is unmitigated. So if at all, I'm looking for a very huge long-term sale, I'll be having my order around here. My target will be this. And that's a 6 hour trade. Not 100% setting, no, because I don't like this price action at all. Don't. It is not a good price action. This is normally an order block, but it's too wiki. You can ignore it and just go for join stone. And this has been mitigated. So it's just so complicated. It's just so complicated. Let's even check 15 minutes. Very complicated. Okay. This only swept, shifted. So you can see mitigated. Why is it not clicking? Mitigated. There's nothing there again. Too wiki. This is a market I won't even be trading. There's nothing for me to trade here. I'm not seeing anything that makes sense. They are all mitigated. Except maybe this. And it still looks like it has been mitigated, but it's my use it too. But don't be banking on it like 100%. This is a 5 hour setup too. And the 15 minutes. That is in line with the trade. But then it's just so complicated. So that's that. Let's go very fast. Let's see. So always zoom out first to see. Shifted the mad imbalance. Look at it coming back. Then created this recent high. Remember the range that I told you about? Shifted and created this low, but it has not broken structure on the 1 hour. So it is not fully, bearish yet. It's not fully bearish yet. So it's just inside the range. So if I go to the 15 minutes now, what am I looking for? I'm looking for a trading opportunity. So this is my recent high on the 15 minutes. And it has not shifted, has it shifted? Same pattern. Why is this market so complicated? Then this. So this was the last area I swept it to look down. Not giving the vibe I'm looking for. Though, if at all I'm planning to pick a buyout, why is it not clicking? So I'll be picking my buy because this has been mitigated already. So it's now an inducement. So you have this is like the only clear setup I can see from this. And I'm targeting here, that's for the target is really important. So if at all I want to enter this market, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. Even though this is the overall target, but this is what I'm doing. Because there's also a movement here, but it hasn't changed yet. So, you know. So since this is most likely to ODB odds, then I'll be targeting 5 hour. So this should be what? This is a good setup. Oof. So you have this and gold left. All right. When you zoom out, what do you see? A downtrend. That's to see. Where is your shift? Is it not clicking? So I'm trying to get the trading range. So you are trying to take like 15 minutes trade. Always have your trading range. So you know that your trade is going to be in between that range. So we shifted the group structure. Now we shifted back. And there's no broken structure. So you have the most recent range here. So now I have this range. If I'm trading it on the 1 hour, this is a valid order block. And using this order block, I'll have something like this. Something like this. Based on the trading range, this is where the targets will be. They now go to your 15 minutes and see the substructure. They give something nice. Nah. So if it is unclear, you just stick to what you have on 1 hour where it looks clear. So this is the recent high range, and this is unmitigated. This is unmitigated. So I'm trading on the 15 and APG before it's good. So if I'm trading on the 15 minutes now, I'd have something like this. Because this has already mitigated that, so then I'll have something like this. So this should give me 4.8 hours. So that is how you pick recent areas, entries that will trigger on time, and you'll be fine. So gold is the last one. I'm already tired. My voice is already going. So that's the last break of structure. Let me go to 1 hour first. We're still in line. Then it shifted. Then it's making use of the breaker block. So this likes breaker block a lot. By the way, good likes breaker block a lot. So after the break, most times it really comes back for the breaker block. Then you can now go to your 15 minutes. So this one, there's nothing complicated. This is the range, the high, and the low. That's the only area I have business with today. Do you get? So now there's a break of structure here. Sorry, there's a shift here. There's no break of structure. So I mark this. So this is my range for the 15 minutes. So I'll now go to the 15 minutes. And I've seen that, okay, the market has shifted here. So let me remove this now. So you see that the market shifted here. In the good structure here. And that created this WI. And what did the market do after that break? Just basically came for the breaker block. That's still what it is using. It's not true. So it basically just came from this. And we are doing this because of that inducement. Maybe having something like this. Remember the trading range. This is what I'll be looking at for gold. And this was the inducement for that entry. As simple as that. Now you just need to wait. You can even reduce it to here. I still have 3 point something. So now these are the kind of trade that within the day you're already out of the market by marking out your trading range. You know that this is the area that you have business with. So just mark it out, and that is that. It's quite straightforward. Nothing complicated at all. So that's all. This is the 15 minutes time frame. So this is the target here. That's 3 point something. Very straightforward. The use of the breaker block. Like I said, gold uses breaker block alone. So we're getting more familiar with it subsequently. But anything that makes it breaks here, then this is the valid point of interest that I'll be looking at to buy from. So I most likely now have something like this. Remember, this is still my trading range for the day. So those are the two areas I'll be looking at if this breaks out. But if it comes back, this is what I'll be looking at. So that'll be all for now. I'll just screenshot of everything on the group. You can go back to the video and prepare ahead for the day and for the new week. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.